I should never have been allowed to be more than a child. In my sister's mouth, a flow of peach syrup. I let it flood. I pulled her from the Oldsmobile to give her air, though she fell back on top of me, and the schnapps bottle fell, never breaking. It rolled from her mouth while across the field, men cut out children's hearts. My older sister, I was not letting go. Under my sister's body, my blood flooded with possibility. If one of us stopped breathing, I wanted it to be me. I would not let her leave. Is it true my heart could be the wet peach that sugars her lips? Or could I be the baby in the jar that has held other babies? At 14, I thought it was the perfect way to die. My sister above me and the field below, dry as a dream, and the seeds, they blew through my hair. I believed I was her temporary God, though in the morning, when we woke in our clothes, she said she lived because she never mistook the lighted rooms of the hospital for heaven. I said, if there is a heaven, I'm not letting you go. We could divide so easily our body parts by color. At night, we lined up in the alley behind the town drugstore and poured bottles of whole milk over our shoulders. We eased our hairless bodies while the mothers of younger girls gasped from behind balcony drapes. They tossed down $10 rosaries. To be sunburned was an act of God. The triangles blowing through our skirts. We believed the world was with us. How else would a man know which parts he could not touch? I never thought the oleander like me, but riding my bicycle by the tree, I throw it from under like a lover. I have to examine this pink flower shrub. It writhes outside the nighttime soda factory. It's what I look like when the big man touches. So I want to do things to it. I want to lift its Christmas dress. I want to make it promise not to tell. I wanted to stare in the hallway mirror and blame itself for years. I wanted to knock my hand away. I want to cover the oleander's mouth, but I can't find it. I never thought the oleander was like me, but tonight I want to push it in a closet. I want its mind to drift somewhere else. Aren't I supposed to do back? Am I remembering the rule right? Golden? I wrap my legs around it until it starts to milk and bend. Where are its parents in all this hot wind? The entire red carnation in my mouth. Like any panicked schoolgirl, I'm inarticulate and constantly introduced to beautiful things. Today it's a doctor who says, "Young lady," and demands, "Young lady, you cannot keep that garden in your throat." How will we ask you questions? How will you sip from the glass of water and tell us what he did to you? Softly, I slip the red carnation further into my throat. There must be hundreds of ways to be a girl. I'm just the kind who has trouble parting her lips. This mule is half horse and half donkey. Was her mother scared, handled by an animal so different from her? 3 boys have kissed me in my father's tool shed. I was scared of all of them. I was good at shaking. I knocked over every crusted shovel, every wet rake. I think the boys were different from me, though it's hard to tell. I beg your pardon. Tell me again what isn't my body. The way Sister Mary Dion told us about the calorie made it seem like something I could believe in. The calorie, she said, as though it were a red wolf in a forest, the calorie, she said with wrinkled gypsied hands, is a unit of heat. It can raise 1 gram of water, 1 degree. Heat. I whispered, I knew it. I knew there were red wolves in my body, knew what went past my lips was adding to me. In the middle of the night, I'd wake in sweat with a little more breast, already shifting from the thin virgin in my skirt. I could leave her in my skirt if I burned it. I was in love with this idea. Every morning I brought a mirror to the table and left my jaw open so wide. In wolf, in wolf, in wolf. What was this field before lightning struck that one lopsided peach and burned the grove to the ground? I don't believe being struck is like an idea igniting the brain. I don't believe it feels like what I think it feels like to orgasm. Pleasure, never. The word suddenly should not be used. Why do the men in this town love the storm? When I race back to the barn and pull down from the mule's lined back, it's because I want to be small again and also unburned. I'll be happy if nothing chooses me. It isn't hard to imagine the big man as a child. Over dinner tonight, his jaw worries, a rib with nothing left. He cracks it open and touches the end to his tongue. Sweet marrow, it must be. He closes his eyes. What kind of dinner table portrait is this? A bad man in a high-backed chair, and behind him, the ghosts of all the snow-covered animals he's ever eaten. The wolf he ate wild licks his one killing tooth. How did I fall in love? The big man does not look up from the china. I dare you, darling, lick me clean. A man of tundra, of ice shoe, of frozen lung fears, a man who hides in my twin bed and tells me of the mother who never let them have heat. Devil temperature, 45 degrees inside their house. Each night she twisted the key up the lock to the pantry door, but left the sugar out. 1 glass jar of sugar, belly-shaped, offering grain so fine it glowed. In darkness, her babies crept the stairs with dripping tongues. The youngest was lifted to the counter where she worked the sink knob, got all their hands good and wet. One at a time, they dipped fingertips into water, into sugar. Like snow that would not burn them, they licked it off. The children returned empty-bellied to their iron beds for dreams so vivid they blushed in their sleep. This is a mad sweetness. 6 little kids learning what it is to fall in love. And now the big man gnaws fingers. If I stay with him, there will be nothing left of me but dream, burnt trumpet smell, a loosed string of pearls, and one of them dissolving inside him like sugar. It stains her hands, but still she rids the bowl of its berries and runs them to the backyard, bleeding into her nightgown. Because she believes soil might prove the best healer, she returns redskin to the ground. Unbursed, the big man discovers her night burial from 2 houses away. She paws earth on hands and knees when he interrupts her dig rhythm, says you'd be easier to love if you were well fed. How does the berries, young blood, not spill before they arrive at his bowl, at his jaw? Her flesh rashes paisley wallpaper when he comes near. If she can save one thing, let these bruised skins not rupture. Sugared, she turns to him and answers, watch me. Watch my throat open like a sink. Watch my ripening, my tightening. The moonlight, she slices it with a fist that lifts to her chin. Watch me suckle red drips from my middle finger. Like a child, I hide in the hotel bathtub and fall asleep with dreams of Lieutenant Bradford's pine box coffin. How I'm in there. I make love to him as kudzu grows fresh from his mouth. I love you, Tallahassee, but be a mother to me. Knife the umbilical cord. Send me north to a strawberry field. Let my feet be covered with anything that looks like hearts. I don't want to hear the strand of leftover Christmas bells on the diner door as husbands shuffle in and beg waitresses to take them home and cough quarters onto their stomachs. I love you, Tallahassee, but too many pool-flavored infants are forgotten in your thrift store rocking chairs. They awake hours later on the shelf of broken toasters, and so I beg you, Tallahassee, I love you. Let me leave. Too often I hunt your back streets, those graveyards of sunburned cash registers. I finger the drawers until the rosary beads wither in my jeans. Tallahassee, the unhemmed skirt girls so much as see me, and they lock themselves in the gas station bathroom. Is it you who presses their chapped lips to the mirror? I love you, Tallahassee. It has been a beautiful time here. Thank you so much for your floorboard religion, the hymns coupled with bottles of bleach, and the wives who scrub Bible ink from their pubic hair. I love you. Thank you so much for having me, you generous city with your sweet sons who keep their sheets clean. And that big man, 50, who has just slipped another hotel key under the rusted dumpster. Tallahassee, if we never see each other again, know that I am grateful for the maid who blots blood from the carpet with stationery.